what made me get into law enforcement, man, like initially I never wanted to be a cop. If I hadn't moved out here to Charlotte, I wouldn't have never became a cop. You know, growing up as kids and stuff, we used to play cops and robbers. I was always the robber. Like I was never the cop. So it wasn't one of those things that I grew up wanting to be. But I started working in the school system when I was out here in Charlotte, when I first got out here, and it was a school resource officer. And he used to talk to me like every day, man, like every day. And now I'm like, hey, yo, he a cool brother. Like, he cool. You know, I mean, he a cop, but he cool. So, you know, the stereotype, like, man, they cops, but they squares.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't have a relationship with one. So I'm like, dad, yo, he a cool dude. He like, man, they need more brothers on the force, man. Like, man, for real, you should think about doing it. I'm like, man, nah, I can't be no cop, man. I can't be a cop. But then I started looking at it, man. I'm just like, man, maybe I can be something that I didn't have growing up. Maybe I can be that figure in the neighborhood that when other people, you know, my community see me, they can like resonate with me, like, yo, he a cool dude, I can talk to him. I've never really had a relationship like that with a cop. I mean, I know a few cops back at the crib, but it wasn't anything like that. So I'm like, man, maybe I can do that. You know, maybe I can be this change.
Word.
And I was like, when I look back on it, man, I mean, I think I made a little different somewhat, but I was naive, man, because, man, this system is so big and it's so deep-rooted. You see what I'm saying? So, like, it's like any other job, man, but within law enforcement, when you want to try to make a change, man, the game you got to play, to try to make a game, try to make somewhat of a change, the politics, man, it's crucial.
Absolutely. Yo, shout out to all the school resource officers, man. I left that nugget out, man. It was a school resource officer that got into my ear. I got left back twice in the 10th grade from fighting and doing all that kind of like, you know, hood stuff back in the day. And it was a school resource, or what would be the equivalent school resource officer in New York, who said, man, why don't you go wrestle? Why don't you go play football or something, get that energy out of your system, right? And that led me to eventually getting a scholarship to come play ball. So shout out to all the school resource officers, man. You'll be surprised what your words of motivation, mentoring, and what you do, the role you play in the lives of those students, you'll be surprised how much you impact them. So appreciate all of y'all for doing that.
Yeah, they play a huge role, because like what other time where like students and kids are able to like interact with an officer, like really talk to them. And when you're an officer, because I was a school resource officer as well, and like, so you see these same kids every day, man, and you are able to like build that rapport with these kids, man, because you know, man, people don't fool with the police like that, you know what I'm saying? So, but when you got a kid and they like, man, officer such and such, man, he cool. So then that kind of opens the door to have certain conversations, and you know what I mean, like, just don't think all cops are bad or whatever. So I don't know, but you're right. Salute, shout out to the SROs, man. Y'all play a vital role, you know, with these kids, you know.
Word. And I want to also send a special shout out, because I'm thinking I used to be crazy, yo.
You was a resource officer?
Yo, at the end of my career, year 8 and 9 roughly, I became a school resource officer. Now I had a motivation for becoming a school resource officer because I was getting burnt out on the job. You know, I was working SWAT, and I was also, you know, working in high crime areas of my city, and it burned me out. And I wanted to escape the patrol function, and I went to the schools, and where I became a sort of kind of like a full-time mentor. So shout out to all those kids from back in the day, Knox Middle School and Henderson High School. Yo, I salute y'all. Y'all are grown folks now, probably having kids and going to college and graduating from college and doing your own thing. But yo, you all were special to me, and you gave me a breath of life. CPR, you CPR'd me in that moment, man, because those kids were so awesome.
Right.
They were all often written off, but yo, they were brilliant kids, amazing kids, and all they needed was time and attention and somebody to reach out to them. Good peoples.